Good morning, friends. Today is Thursday, April 30th, and it is Brook Day for Spirit Week. So I hope you all are wearing your Brook gear, and as always, make sure that you send pictures to your teachers so that maybe you can even be Brook famous and be featured on Morning Motivation. Um, Now, before we get started today, let me show you where you can find the materials. So you're going to go to the distance learning folder. You're going to click on first grade. Then you're going to go to read aloud, April 27th to May 1st. And then you're going to go to today's date, Thursday, April 30th. And here are the sheets that you'll need to fill out, as well as the article that we will be reading today. And here's a sneak peek of what it will be about. Bears. All right, let's get right into it. We're gonna present, and here we go. All right, so here we have an article, and with this cute fuzzy little bear on the front. Before we even start reading it, we're going to answer the first two questions on your worksheet. So the first question is, what is the genre? So I'm going to flip through the pages, and you're going to think about what the genre of this article is. Go ahead. All right, so when we're thinking about the genre of the article, we're going to be looking for different text features that go along with either fiction or nonfiction. And we're going to be seeing or if this article is telling us a story or teaching us about something. So in this article, I see a lot of the text features that you would see in nonfiction text, like title, some bolded words, labels, um, captions, and an interview. Um, and we also know that it's going to be teaching us something about bears because I see lots of photographs of bears. So the genre is nonfiction. Now you're going to answer the next question. What text features do you see in this article? I just listed a bunch, but I'm going to give you a chance to go back and look and see what text features you can see in this article. So I'll flip through while you answer the question. Go ahead. All right, so let's flip through the article and we'll list the text features out loud together. So over here, we see a title. It's definitely one text feature. We see a title, see a bolded word, we see a label. This label is telling us who this lady is. We see a heading. We see two headings actually, here and here. We see some captions that explain what's going on in these photographs. Did we say photographs? If we didn't say photographs, then we know that they're also photographs. We see some more labels over here, and on the back we see this feature that I don't think we've seen yet, but it's called an interview. This is where the people who write the article ask the scientist, this woman, questions, because this is an article about something that she's an expert in, and then she answers the question. So this is an interview. So the text features that you should have written down are title, heading, um, photographs, bolded words, labels. What else do we have? We have captions and an interview. So once again, headings, titles, photographs, labels, captions, bolded words, and an interview. So there should be 7 text. Now we're going to actually read the article. So we're going to flip back to the front and we're going to read this article before we answer the next few questions. Bear Cub Checkup. This scientist is very happy. So get it? Because it's bear. It says berry and it sounds like berry. It's what's called a pun. So the scientist is very happy. She gets to give fuzzy bear cubs a winter checkup. This label is telling us this is scientist Ray Wynn Grant. That's her name. Bear care. Snow falls in the woods. A black bear is hibernating in a den. The bear's body is still. Her heart beats slowly. Her cubs cuddle with her. Ray is a scientist. She crawls into the den. She gently takes the cubs. She pulls them outside. Ray is checking on the cubs. She wants to see if they are healthy. Let's see what she does step by step. Let me see here. Ray checks on a bear cub. This is a photograph of her doing that. And this caption is telling us what's happening in the photograph. All right, cub checkup step by step. Here is how Ray checks on the cubs. Step 1. First, Ray goes into the den. Ray gives the mama bear a shot so she stays asleep. That wouldn't be good if the mama bear was still awake because she might attack Ray because she doesn't know that Ray is helping the cubs. Step 2. Next, she pulls the cubs out of the den. There are usually 2 or 3 cubs inside. Step 3. After that, she checks on the cubs. She measures them, she puts them in a bag to weigh them. And then that label right there says cubs in here. So in that bag, there are cubs. Step 4. Last, she puts the bears back in the den. The bears stay inside until spring. That's when the mama bear wakes up. So once the mama bear is done hibernating, she wakes up in the spring. Questions for Ray. Have you studied any animals other than bears? Yes, I have studied zebras and lions. What is the scariest thing that ever happened to you? I was in a tent in Africa. It was the middle of the night. I woke up. I turned on my flashlight and saw a lion outside my tent. I thought the lion was going to eat me. That sounds terrifying. Why is it important to study bears? There are more and more people. We cut down forests. That leaves less room for bears. It's important to know how we can set aside land for bears and help them. All right, so now that we've read the entire article, we can figure out what the main topic is. So I'm going to flip through the article and you're going to take about a minute to write down what the main topic is. Go ahead. All right, so when we're thinking about the main topic of this article, we're thinking about what is the article teaching us all about. So on the front cover, we see a scientist with a bear cub. And this text right here tells us that this bear cub is getting a checkup. And then it tells us the steps of how these cubs get checkups. So the main topic of this article is bear cub checkup because it's telling us um, how the bears or the bear cubs get checked up, um, who is doing the checking up, and why the bears need to be checked up. So the main topic of this article is a bear checkup. Now we can answer the next question. What does the word hibernating mean? Now, I think a lot of us already think that we know what this word means, but we need to remember that we need to use the article to figure out what this word means. So I see that the bolded word that says hibernating is right here. So I know that I'm going to look in this paragraph to find the answer to the question. So what does the word hibernating mean? Take about 45 seconds to answer that question. Go ahead. All right, so the bolded word that says hibernating is in this paragraph. So I'm going to read the paragraph again so we can see if we can figure out what the word hibernating means. Snow falls in the woods. A black bear is hibernating in a den. The bear's body is still. Her heart beats slowly. Her cubs cuddle with her. All right, so I think a lot of us think that hibernating means sleeping. And that's only about halfway true. Because if the bear was just sleeping, then it would wake up in the morning and it would go about its day. But this is a special type of sleep. Um, Hibernating is when a bear is sleeping and the bear's body is still and the heart beats slowly, even slower than the usual sleep. So, hibernating means that the bear is sleeping with the body being still and her heart beating slowly. And this is for a very long time. Um, the bear's body is still for a very, very long time while the black bear is hibernating. All right, the next question is, why is it important to study bears? Now, I know that I need to flip through the article to see what section I should look at at best answer this question because I don't need to read the whole article again. I just need to read the section that is going to tell me the answer to this question. So why the question is why is it important to study bears? And this question on the back says why is it important to study bears? And Ray answers it. Remember, Ray is the scientist who studies the bears. So in this text right here, you will find that answer. So take a look, write down your answer, and then we'll go over it together. Go. All right, so let's read this section right here. Why is it important to study bears? There are more and more people. We cut down forests. That leaves less room for bears. It's important to know how we can set aside land for bears and help them. So, why is it important to study bears? It is important to study bears so that humans can help bears. Because right now, humans, because there are more and more humans in the world, we're cutting down forests, which leaves less room for the bears. But we need to study bears, or scientists need to study bears so that they can tell humans, other humans, how we can help bears instead of hurt them. So it is important to study bears to help the bears. All right, the last question on the first sheet says true, it's a true or false question. So listen to this statement as I read it aloud and we can figure out if it's true or false. True meaning that it's correct, and false meaning that it is incorrect. So, true or false? Ray has studied bears, zebras, and rhinos. So I know that I should flip through the article to figure out what section I should look at in order to figure out whether this question is true or false. Now, throughout the article, there are lots of photographs of bears. Now, we know that Ray studies bears, and we know that this section of the article isn't going to give us new information because it's only talking about bears. On the back, though, I see two pictures of two different animals that are not bears. So I'm going to look at this section right here. This question asks, have you studied any animals other than bears? Okay, so this is the section that I need to look at in order to answer that question. So do that now and answer the question. All right, so let's read that section again so we can figure out whether this statement is true or false. Have you studied any animals other than bears? Okay, so that question means that we know that she studied bears, but we're looking for the other animals that she studied. And she says, yes, I have studied zebras and lions. So the animals that Ray has studied are bears, zebras, and lions. So let's look again at that statement. It said Ray has studied bears, zebras, and rhinos. Now, has Ray studied rhinos? Does it say anywhere in this article that she's studied rhinos? Nope. So that statement is false. Even though the first two animals they match the article, if one part of the statement is false, the entire statement is false. So this statement is false. And how do we know? Because she studied bears, zebras, and lions, not bears, zebras, and rhinos. All right, now that we've done that entire sheet of paper, we're going to move on to the exit ticket. Now, the secret symbol today on this exit ticket is going to be to draw a heart. So on the exit ticket, you're going to, somewhere on the exit ticket, it doesn't matter where, you're going to draw a heart. Now, don't let it take up the whole page because then there's going to be no room for your writing. But you're going to draw a small heart somewhere on the page so that we know that you've watched the video and you've done all that you can to help yourself to grow your brain. So once you've written down or once you've answered the exit ticket, then you can draw a little picture of a heart. All right, so the exit ticket. What are the steps that Ray takes to check on the Cubs? Why does she take these steps? Make sure you write about the steps in the correct order and complete sentences. All right, so now we have to find the section where of the article where it talks about what Ray does to check up on the Cubs and the steps that she takes. So we're going to go back here where it says Cub checkup step by step. These are the steps that Ray takes to check up on the Bear Cubs. So we have to make sure that we write them in the right order. So I'm not going to start with step 3 because that's not the first step. I'm going to start with step 1. So the first step is that Ray goes into the den. Now, Ray goes into the den to give the mama bear a shot so that she falls asleep. So that's what I mean when I say that you have to write the steps and then why Ray does the steps. So the first step is that Ray goes into the den. Why she goes into the den is so that she can give the mama bear a shot so that she can stay asleep. So Ray can do the checkup. You're going to do that for the rest of the steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to say what the step is and why Ray does that step. All right, my friends, awesome work today. Don't forget to include that special secret symbol on your exit ticket. And as always, let your teachers know if you have any questions. Enjoy Brook Day of Spirit Week, and we'll see you tomorrow with your favorite outfits. Bye, friends.